Because they're like the others, because they're all the same.
Author Barbara Kingsolver and her family abandoned the industrial food pipeline to live a rural life, vowing that for 1 year they'd only buy food raised in their own neighborhood, grow it themselves, or learn to live without it. Now try to picture a single imaginary plant bearing throughout one season all the different vegetables we harvest. We'll call it a vegetannual. Picture its life passing before your eyes like a time-lapse film. This is what Barbara Kingsolver devised to illustrate a year in the life of homegrown food. Before we begin though, we'd like to give you a little background on the information.
In our modern world, 6 companies control 98% of the world's seed sales. These companies look to increase food production by genetically modifying the seeds they distribute. Through this process, the seeds are modified to kill pests and be resistant to different types of herbicides. This helps the farming industry because less energy, more or less meaning less fossil fuel, is needed to produce the same amount of crops. These companies are helping to feed mankind on a global scale. Unfortunately, they are also homogenizing it. Historically, humans used to eat 80,000 varieties of plant species. This is a risky situation we find ourselves in. Reducing our dependence to just a few species means that one catastrophic disease could wipe out our entire food supply in one fell swoop. A perfect example of this is the Irish potato famine. And that's where Barbara Kingsolver comes in. She believes that if we as a society took to eating locally and farming organically, then we could avoid the somewhat detrimental effects of modern-day industrial agriculture. Not only would this help to restore a much-needed variety in our diets, but it helps sustain our local communities.
Eating only local foods within a 100-mile radius is no easy task. Barbara Kingsolver and her family are prime examples of the benefits and hardships one would face if they tried to do just that, and they illustrate this in an interesting, sometimes comical way. Kingsolver takes her readers through a year in the life of local vegetables, growing and eating whatever is in season. This also involves raising and harvesting her own livestock. She spends the majority of the spring planting and enjoying a fruitful bounty, the summer canning and processing as many tomatoes as her kitchen can hold, the fall attempting to make pumpkin soup, and the winter living off whatever she canned in the summer along with a few winter squash. Kingsolver feels that local food is so important because America is sorely lacking in an individual food culture. Most cultures enjoy traditional fare originating from their own countries. For example, we might say we're going out for Italian food or Chinese food, but Americans do not have a food of their own. In growing local native food, Kingsolver believes America can achieve a food culture all our own and learn valuable lessons about nutrition, the environment, and our heritage.
We're flying through trees,
In addition to adding needed nutrition to our diets, growing and eating local foods helps build the local community and the local economy. For example, if someone grows pumpkins and if someone else raises turkeys, they could trade, fostering a sense of community and friendship.
Because they're like the others.
In Animal Vegetable Miracle, many of the locally grown recipes are written by Kingsolver's daughter, Camille. This is a wonderful way to start eating locally yourself, and these recipes can also be found at www.animalvegetablemiracle.com.